Live with breaking news. This is ABC 27 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Alicia Richards.
And I'm Dennis Owens. Happy Friday. Thanks for joining us. We are following breaking news that everyone in Pennsylvania needs to know.
Right. It's the 911 system. It is not working properly statewide. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. So if you need emergency help, make sure you call your local police or fire department directly. It would not hurt to have those numbers handy just in case until this serious problem is fixed. You should also check your county's social media and website for more information.
They still have access to be able to dispatch emergency services. A lot of emergency services, police, fire, and EMS will man their stations if they're not already manned. They'll have the capability to be able to respond and take either input and calls directly to their station to be able to respond, or the counties will have alternate means to be able to ensure that they can get the public safety services to the individuals that need them.
The cause of the outage is not clear at this time. We will certainly let you know the answer to that question, what caused this, when we have it, and we'll certainly let you know when the system is fixed. And by the way, the director of PEMA, you just heard from, is coming out to the podium right now, hopefully with answers.
You on a ongoing issue that we've had with the Next Gen 911 system across the state earlier this afternoon. I'd like to start off with the governor has been briefed regarding this situation. We are in constant contact and we are providing updates as necessary as the troubleshooting continues with the system. To lead in with what we want people to know immediately is that they should still continue to use the 911 system to be able to call for emergency situations. I'll get into a little bit of the specifics regarding what we saw in the system and the activity, but we still want them to utilize the 911 system. If the 911 system, if the call does not go through or the call drops for some reason, please follow the instructions that are provided by your 911 center that was usually provided in a follow-on message, and that usually entails calling the 7-digit administrative line for the 911 center, which will get you into the 911 center and they can route the call and handle the call from there. So I think that's very key. So earlier this afternoon around 2 p.m., our Next Gen 911 service provider that provides the network services for the Commonwealth detected a situation on the 911 network where calls were intermittently failing to be delivered. This was originally detected with calls going into the Delaware County 911 Center. The Next Gen 911 service provider immediately notified our 911 team and engaged to start the troubleshooting the issue and identify the root cause of the issue. As a standard practice, and we have a number of standard operating procedures we use for these types of situations, a conference bridge line was established with all the public safety answering points or 911 centers that included PEMA 911 staff and the vendors that support the county 911 system to be able to get a better handle on what the impacts were across the state. Other counties began reporting similar issues, and without being able to identify a cause out of an abundance of caution, a statewide wireless emergency alert and emergency alert system message was sent to the public to notify them of the intermittent issues. And I want to stress these were intermittent issues, and that if they experienced an issue calling 911, they should follow the instructions of their 911 center, which usually, like I said, involved calling the 7-digit administrative line for each public safety answering point, and they would be able to deliver the call from there and dispatch the call accordingly. Currently, our teams are engaged with the public safety answering points or 911 centers and the Next Gen 911 service provider monitoring the system. And the system continues to have some intermittent connectivity issues at this point in time. They're still trying to troubleshoot. As last updated, it seemed like a majority of the calls were being delivered. However, they were intermittent issues related to that. Some of them may not have location data. Some of that may have not or may not have number data associated with that. So they still continue to work that. A root cause is yet to be identified. The Next Gen 911 service provider continues to work to identify the causative factors for the intermittent connectivity issues. At this time, like I said, individuals should continue to use 911, and if they would call 911 for an emergency and the call is not delivered, they should use the backup 7-digit administrative line or follow the instructions of their local 911 center or public safety answering point. And we ask that the public do not test the system at this point by calling 911 just as a test, as it creates some challenges with the traffic coming into the 911 system. If they test the system and hang up on the system, system, that is considered an abandoned call. The 911 centers have to go back and investigate that call. So we ask for the public's cooperation as we continue. We'll provide additional updates as they become available.
And that is Randy Padfield. He is the director of the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency.
Yeah, so it's still not fixed yet. He
Right.
advised trying 911, that hopefully it'll work, but if it doesn't, then you go ahead and get on the websites or just call your local police. Or
But only
fire
try it if
directly.
there's an actual emergency. Don't just be testing it. He was
Exactly.
also saying don't do that.
He made that
But
point
yeah.
too.
Hi, I'm Eric Finkenbinder from ABC 27. We're excited to announce the new ABC 27 News Plus app. Live stream newscasts or watch content on demand. This is different than the ABC 27 app on your smartphone. You can check this out at home and it's very easy to use. With a Fire Stick, go to the home page, scroll down to search. From there, enter ABC 27. Move over to the apps and there we are. Click the icon and install. It's just that easy.